There is a whole world of cinema to be discovered. You just have to overcome that 1-inch barrier known as subtitles. This is that 1-inch barrier, a podcast devoted to all things international cinema. I'm Nicola Barry, joined once again by Josh Barry and Kieran Griffiths. Gentlemen, welcome to our latest Oscar episode. We're full circle. We've been through our picks, and now we're back to the 2018 Oscars for the 2017 film A Fantastic Woman from Sebastian Lelio, which obviously won the best foreign language film that year. But before we get into that, we're all very happy. We're feeling good today.
Feeling good.
Lions won a premiership.
Oh,
Lions won a
premiership.
Go Brisbane.
Broncos
go
won a. It's good to be in Brisbane. Not that this is a sports podcast, but
But I mean, if it turns into one for the next hour, I wouldn't be upset.
wouldn't be upset about that. But it is hot as balls here at the moment.
Yes, it
It
is.
is shorts weather for everyone at this point in time. But we're all in high spirits. And I obviously talking about an Oscar-winning film where I'm looking at quality, the consensus of quality. Consent will come up in this film, that's for sure. The consensus of the Academy picking this film to be the winner. Had we seen A Fantastic Woman before this episode? Is this something you've
I
watched
had
before?
seen it. I'd seen it.
I had not.
Same here, I
But
hadn't
as
seen
I
that.
realised after watching it, I had seen a Sebastian Lelio film before.
Yes.
Because he did The Wonder last year or the year before.
Actually, it was 2022, I think, was The
Wow.
Wonder. It was a couple of years ago, the Netflix film with Florence Pugh.
Yeah.
He did Gloria Bell, which I'd seen as well, which
Yeah,
starred Julianne
I've
Moore,
seen
which
that.
I didn't realize was a remake of his own film.
Yeah, I just
as well, called Gloria.
Yeah.
He also did the film. So these are the 3 English language films he's done, which is The Wonder, Gloria Bell, and Disobedience, which I mean I saw because of the fact that Rachel Weisz and Rachel McAdams were kissing each other in the trailer, and I was like, what could this be about? The movie was fine. That seems great. But the movie itself was fine. But before he ventured into the English language film, this was the film that really got him onto the map. Obviously, I remember thinking back to 2017, the sort of stir this movie made. It was critically, very much renowned. It seemed to have like the Oscar in its hand even before the Academy Awards took place. Like everyone was pretty confident this was going to be the winner.
Who was it up against?
So this is who it was up against. Sorry, I just clicked onto the wrong one there. So A Fantastic Woman won. It was up against The Insult from Lebanon by Ziad Diori. Loveless from Russia by Andrei Siyagnevets. Andrei Siyagnevets. On Body and Soul, which we've done on this podcast from Hungary, and Ruben Östlund's The Square from Sweden, which is a film I very much enjoyed.
Won Palme d'Or, I think.
I think that is correct. Yeah,
I think he's won a couple, hasn't he? Ruben Östlund.
They love him.
Yeah.
Can love Ruben Östlund.
I can see that.
Which I can
see.
I've only seen Triangle of Sadness.
Okay.
Fantastic film.
Yeah.
It is
So,
great.
yeah.
You would like The Square then if you like Triangle
Okay.
Sadness. It is very, very good.
Yeah.
Other thing with this film is it was produced by Pablo Larraín.
Interesting.
We did mention on our last episode, because we were talking about obviously Pedro Almodóvar and his sort of focus on women in film, and we sort of compared him to Pablo Larraín, another South American filmmaker. Pablo Larraín's South American, isn't he? Chilean filmmaker.
Which
this film is Chilean as well, so that makes sense. Chilean director producing another Chilean film. So yeah, kind of a little segue there.
There's fun
unintentionally,
connection
but
there, yeah.
What's the next?
But yes, so Sebastian Lelio directed this film. Sebastian Lelio co-wrote this film with Gonzalo Maza, and it stars Daniela Vega as a transgender woman who, after her partner dies suddenly, has just a series of unfortunate events occur in her life. Some very significant, confronting, heartbreaking events. This is a bad couple of days in the life of Marina, who is her character. And the movie takes place in Chile as well.
In Santiago.
in Santiago.
the city. It's a heavy film.
Yeah.
It's not. I watched this morning. Just to clarify. Not great Sunday morning.
No.
Just gonna put that out there.
Woke up, poured your coffee, maybe a little English breakfast.
Yeah.
Hey, let's watch A Fantastic Woman, and then
Yeah, the title is misleading.
Did you? Yeah. Well,
Didn't feel very fantastic.
no,
watching
it's
it.
it's one of those movies that it's very much and it's interesting after reading some of the reactions after watching it and sort of how people. There was probably a genre of this film that was very popular in the 2010s called misery porn.
Yes.
And this kind of falls into that category at some points. It feels like a movie where how many bad things can we do to this person to make you really feel the trauma of their lived experience.
I'm glad you brought that up early on.
Yeah.
Because, like, it reminds me a lot of another film that came out around about the same time that was hugely critically acclaimed, and I didn't love as much as everyone else, and that's Moonlight.
Interesting. Yeah.
Because I think Moonlight suffers from the same problem. It is just misery porn. I feel like the character, and that's not to say that I don't like the film, and we don't normally go into criticism.
No.
I just felt I brought this up. So the character of Marina feels like she just doesn't have that much agency.
Yep.
And I had that same issue with Moonlight, and it's sort of, the main character kind of just exists to have this pain and misery lumped on them, where it's just bad thing after bad thing after bad thing that keeps happening to them. And I get that that's the point, right? It's meant to be their situation and who they are and the circumstances and how people treat them and all that sort of stuff. But it's draining. It's hard to watch after a while, and it sort of gets to a point of going, okay, I get it, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Where's I don't know, life, there's not always redemption. But like, give me something. Give me some sort of hope. Give me something to latch onto. Because you've just been beating me over.
Even Moonlight has some hope towards the end of that film as well. Interesting you bring up that comparison, because I think at least Moonlight, the comparison here, I think narratively, is that A Fantastic Woman is very much a straightforward narrative from start to finish. Moonlight plays around with time. Moonlight plays around with different characters and things like that. And I think it has a bit more of a uniqueness to its misery porn, for lack of a better word. This is just a berating hour and 40 minutes of...
And as you said, it's over the space of, what, maybe...
a day and a half, 2 days, maybe...
No more than a week.
Like at least no more than a week,
So it just does berate you from start to finish with, this barrage of terrible things. And you're right, it was very much a thing in like the 20th... Like, even think about, to a lesser extent, films like 12 Years a Slave.
God,
it is just like these films that were like...
Have not seen that since it came out. Just have not watched it.
Here are these people... in really terrible situations, having a very bad time for 2 hours.
The thing is, though, I'll be careful how I phrase this. 12 Years a Slave has a far more historical aspect to it, in the sense of you kind of learn from the past in hopes to change the future. Not to say that the contemporary setting of A Fantastic Woman won't do that. I'm sure that there are people who watch it who may have certain viewpoints and certain... connotations and certain what's the word I'm looking for? Preconceptions about transgender people, where they might watch this and go, "Oh my god, like that's awful that Marina was treated this way just because they have transitioned to a woman, they're living their life that way." The movie kind of doesn't dive deep enough into that for me for it to feel like it would have an impact like that. It pretty much just, Marina's been openly trans for a long time by the time we start with the character in the film. So it's not like this discovery journey more than anything, which I think we see a lot of in LGBT films. It's about maybe the discovery of sexuality or identity and things like that. But I think when you compare it to something like 12 Years a Slave, which has this strong historical element, I don't know if like a contemporary film will... I think there is more impact behind learning from the past than there is of being like, this is the now. But that's just, I don't know, it just depends how someone views a film, I guess, in that way.
Yeah. I mean, watching it this time, I feel like this could have, but it didn't have to. I know this is about a transgender woman, and it's obviously, she's been in a relationship with this older gentleman.
Yes.
Who dies suddenly.
Very suddenly, yeah.
And then you kind of find out later on they've been together for 9 years.
Yeah.
But it's kind of the whole story of the family pretty much disowning her instantly, even though there wouldn't have been any relationship between them.
No.
But
now that their father has died, now that the husband has died,
once he's died,
gone,
then it's like
they're drawing this line in the sand. Yeah.
And it's been a bit of an issue for them, and they're a bit embarrassed about the whole situation. So on. But I also feel it didn't necessarily need to be a trans. This could have been a gay story.
A gay story could have been.
This could have even there were parts of it that because me and Susie aren't married.
Yes.
And it was a really funny time for us to watch this because we've just finalised our wills.
Yeah.
Which has been a really weird
experience.
Yeah. And because we're not married and we don't have kids, and there's like, let's say both of us died, we're kind of like, okay, where does my stuff go and where does your stuff go? And like, obviously any inheritance Susie got from her family wouldn't
Josh is
really...
dividing his DVD collection between Kieran and myself in the will.
In the will.
And now we're plotting to kill him.
But like, you know, her inherit wouldn't want to come to my family because we don't have kids, and there's all these little intricacies.
Right.
And so whilst I was watching this, there were a couple of times actually Susie's like, this wouldn't have happened if he had have had a will. Like if he had had a will.
That's a great point. Yeah.
That, you know, she got
you ran into these problems,
you know, anything like that. So it was a really weird scenario for me to be watching this in that respect.
That's sort of what resonated with you in the sense of
because I could see that, like, I guess anything not the norm. So anything you're not on paper married with kids. When something like this happens, then there's going to be a lot of weird stuff going on with families.
Right.
So
I see what you mean. Yeah, it didn't. It's not necessarily like it didn't have to be a trans character for the film. It was more like there's such a universality to the situation rather than
yes,
totally.
Yeah. Obviously, in this instant where she is trans, like the police are straight onto her and they're pulling her aside, saying that she's not a woman, and so
they're calling her sir and stuff. And then there's
is
very
awful.
Uncomfortable scene with the doctor having to take the photos as well.
Totally. So that in that respect, it all comes down to the transgender.
Absolutely.
Stuff.
Yeah. But there's a universality.
In the same way we talk about that with like things like How to Make Millions.
Yes.
Yeah.
There is that universality to it, and I think that's what a good film does, right? It goes, I can't relate to the specifics of this, but I can relate to the generalities of it.
Yes.
I think as well it's not just about the possessions. Like, yes, there's, you know, Orlando, her partner's apartment that she's living in. There's his car. There's the dog they had together. So there's those elements of it. But all she kind of wants is to just be able to say goodbye to it.
Well, yeah.
Whereas, you know, Orlando's ex-wife, brother, and son all sort of target her individually.
Yeah.
And go, well, you can't come to the wake and you can't come to the funeral, and, you know, my dad only, you know, you were just a perversion, like, you know, you bet, you know, you're not even a real person, like, what you? It's like, and just like completely dehumanizing. And he's, like I said, it's hard to watch. Like it's brutal. You know,
3/4 of the way through, Susie turned to me and said, "I hope this has a happy." I just hope it won't. Look,
it's the happiest of the endings it could have. Yeah.
But like, you want the movie thing to happen. You want these shitty people to get their comeuppance.
Yes.
And
like,
they don't.
No. Yeah. And I think, you know, there might be some people who watch this. You know, I don't think transphobes are going to watch a Chilean
movie about a transgender woman. Yeah.
But, you know, maybe it will change someone's mind. But I don't think, you know, J.K. Rowling is not going to watch this and go, you know what?
I was wrong.
A complete cunt. I don't think it's going to happen.
No.
And it's not like, you know, this, I don't want to be, you know, the typical sort of like cis-het white man beating my chest being like, trans people are people too. Like, that's fucking obvious. Of course they are.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's so infuriating.
This is not the soap. We're not a soapbox podcast, but we're like, these are the preconceptions you bring to the podcast. We're not fuckheads. I don't know. It just blows my mind.
Yeah. It's frustrating.
That's probably why I think of like when you were talking about the Moonlight comparison or like movies like that as well. I think that's why my mind immediately went to. It's like, it's almost like, why does a movie like this have to be made to make a point? Like, it's just a story. It's just a good story. Like, it's a hard to watch story, and it's brutal, and it's obviously it's capturing a moment in time. Especially, even to say, it's weird to say that 8 years ago, 2017, this was a progressive movie. Like, that is weird to think.
I think you look at like the progression of social issues, right? Like, we worked out a fairly long time ago. We were like, slaves, not so great.
Yeah, bad.
You know, still probably some people now who think, but, you know, I could do with some help around the house.
Totally, right? Like,
but for the most part, we all went, slaves, owning people, not great.
Yeah.
And then we sort of went, letting women vote, you know, that's something we should probably do. And, you know, letting, like, you know, interracial couples, like, marry and stuff.
Letting gay people marry. Yeah.
Like, we all sort of that collectively went, these things
should just be things. Yeah.
Whereas I think we're still obviously living through kind of like
this trans movement
and that sort of stuff. And I think that's why it's so much more painful to watch, because you can watch 12 Years a Slave and go, Jesus Christ, I can't believe we used to think that owning people was okay.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, no,
there's that separation of time.
Time is a fucking weird
Whereas
thing.
you only have to go watch the news, look at social media.
It still hasn't
and see
changed.
the stuff that's still happening and trans people putting up with it.
True.
And all they want to do, much like, African American people just were like, hey, we don't want to be slaves. Trans people are just like, hey, we just want to be left the fuck alone.
Yeah, we just want to be people too. Yeah.
And just like the base level of human decency. And it's like, that's, I think, what is that, like, just repeatedly like punching you in the gut of being like, yeah, shit.
Why is this person getting treated differently just because they're
trans? It's not like this mind-blowing thing, right? It's like, I can't believe that this is this bad.
But the funny thing is, it could be though. That like it could be a mind-blowing for some people, right? Yeah. As society evolves and you hope for the better over time, like it is probably one of those things. Like
people watch A Fantastic Woman in 50 years and go, Jesus Christ, I can't believe we used to
treat people like that. Yeah.
Not like I can't believe we still do treat people like
that.
And all that's literally all she wants. This film is just about her wanting to grieve her dead partner and just not being allowed to do that.
Then she makes a point, like when it's not going her way, when she is getting shunned so badly by the family. Shout out to the brother though, who does sort of come around a little bit towards the end. He was all right.
I feel like he was.
He felt the most guilty about being a fucking dickhead.
He was pushed into a corner, obviously.
Very much so. Yeah. And then that's just a whole nother theme about family that you can dive into.
He's the only one who doesn't like actively dead name and call her slurs. So
exactly.
Low bar clear.
Well done. Refrain from calling her a tranny. Yeah, like well done, mate. And then, but where was I going with that? Oh, when she's so shunned, when she's so pushed to the side by it, like that is kind of the movie moment for me where she goes, well, fuck yes, I'm gonna come to the wake. I'm gonna take the dog. So we do get like not a lot of spoilers, but like we do kind of get the movie version of it, like when the person is pushed too far. It's just not the comeuppance. The comeuppance would have been incredibly like Hollywood satisfying, but I do think in a weird way this movie has like the happiest ending it could have. Because then she's an opera singer. We didn't bring that up. She's an opera singer, wanting to be like a famous opera singer, and she's singing at the end. The last shot of the film is her singing in this really nice restaurant sort of thing,
like in front of a big crowd. In front of a crowd. She's sort of like a waitress by day, kind of lounge singer by night, but it's very much like a passion project. Whereas at the end of the film, we get to see her kind of doing it.
Is that
in front of
her voice?
I believe so.
I did see that she is a singer.
So I think that's
great voice. Unbelievable voice. Because I think not to. Please don't come at me, everyone in the comments. When you do think about someone transitioning, like biologically, with the male aspect and the voice that she does have the end, I thought that was truly incredible. I was like, wow, the way you changed your voice for a singing thing, I was like truly astounded by. So don't come at me, okay? I think that's a very valid comment.
But she was actually, from what there's not a huge amount of information on the production of this film, which is surprising, but from what I could tell, the actress who plays Marina, Daniela Vega, was actually a consultant on the film.
Interesting. Okay,
a cultural consultant. And then the director basically went, no, you are the perfect person to play this character.
Wow. So it was cast because of that.
I believe so.
Fantastic. Well, hey, she's a fantastic woman.
And that's the end of the show.
Well,
not this episode. We're done. We're not coming back.
Everyone Leo meme at the screen now. I mean, we should talk about her. Daniela Vega, she's fantastic in the film. Like I said, is getting berated for 100 minutes. And I can't imagine, obviously like actors talk about getting into a character and understanding the emotion and the feeling. I don't think it would be a long stretch to say that Daniela Vega has probably experienced transphobia in her own life. So probably to relive some of those things, and especially just the simplicity of like a police officer sees her old ID from when she was a man and calls her sir. And just like the tiniest little things like that would irk like that, like having to just relive that, I can't imagine would have been an easy thing to do. Which I think brings a lot of authenticity. I think brings a lot of sincerity to the performance and the character. I thought she was brilliant. I thought she was great.
Oh, she was fantastic. It's very much like, I know heart and soul of the film is like such a cliched and overused term, but it really is the way to describe her in this movie. She carries all of this burden, all this emotional weight, and we're so connected to her as an audience member. I don't think there's a single scene that takes place without her.
I don't think so. I think you're right. It's pretty much camera always on her.
I think even you think of most films with a distinct protagonist.
Yeah.
You'd still get scenes that cut
Yeah.
away to
Totally.
minor characters or sort of B plots or whatever.
Yeah.
But we're with
We'd
the
see the
entire
family
time.
conniving and playing like, don't invite her to the funeral.
But it's all with her the whole time, and it's over the space of such a short space of time that you do really sort of connect.
Yeah.
And she's fantastic. And I think, there's obviously like a couple of years before this, you had the Danish girl with playing a trans woman.
Yeah.
Which there was a lot of people people taking issue with.
Yeah.
Feeling that trans people should be portrayed by trans people.
Yeah.
So to actually have a trans person front and center in a film like this, yes, like it'd be nice to be able to put trans characters in films and not make them the subject of terrible shit happening to them in the same way that's like people like, we should be able to have gay movies that aren't about someone getting AIDS and dying.
Yeah.
Or we should be able to have black people movies that aren't about slavery. Like,
Yeah.
we should be able to have trans films where a character is just trans.
Just trans.
That's just them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. 100%.
But I think she's phenomenal. I think, this film does not work without such a strong performance from her.
I just want to point out as well, Francisco Reyes Miranda, who plays Orlando, the partner, is also really good. I think you get a lot. There is such a sympathy that comes from his character and understanding her experience, and because they've obviously been together for 9 years, there's a comfortability. He's like mid-60s in this movie, and he's still down to fuck. Like, that dude's ready to go.
Yeah, well, I think
hot and heavy opening in the movie.
Yeah.
She says he's 57, I think, when he arrives at the hospital.
Right. Yeah.
And then someone, I think the doctor or the nurse or
He's
police
gone
officer
for it.
says that she's young enough to be his daughter.
Yeah.
So she's probably sort of like maybe late 20s.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
And then he's in his late 50s. But I think, as we said, he dies
Pretty
10,
early.
15 minutes into the film.
Yeah.
But I feel like he has such an impact as well. I think there's such a normalization of that sort of relationship as well. Especially when you think about it, a older hetero white man is what the assumption is, right?
Yeah.
And then you go, okay, you don't see many people like that. Even, sorry, I shouldn't generalize as many. Like there are a lot of people who are older straight white men who fucking hate trans people.
Yeah.
So I think that's a very bold and very calculated choice to have him be a partner of that age. Obviously it leads to later on when it comes to like the family organizing the funerals and stuff, but yeah, I just think it's such a good character.
Yeah.
And he plays it really well.
It is really interesting how I think our perceptions would be different if you take away the trans element, right?
Totally.
Obviously, completely different film and a worse film. But for the sake of that, take away the trans element, and you've got this old guy and his young cis female partner. Old guy suddenly dies, and then the film is about this young.
Yeah, it becomes a gold digging comedy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly.
And, like,
It's
the family don't want to
literally.
deal with.
And there's hijinks, man. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be gold. It's gonna be
And we're like,
Amazon Prime, November 12th. It's coming out. You know what I mean? Like it's
Starring
Kevin Hart, probably. I don't know.
Ryan Reynolds.
yeah.
Kevin Hart's the 20-year-old girl. But you know what I mean? Like, it's like the age gap is then suddenly really different. I've broken
Fuck. So I had the drink in my mouth right away, and I was like, "Oh shit!" That was so close to a spit take. Kevin Hart starring as the 20-year-old woman
in whiteface as well.
You fucking, I'd watch it. I'd watch it.
But yeah, it's funny how I think the age gap, we're sort of maybe more willing to overlook it because of the non-heterodynamic relationship.
True.
I don't know whether that's a bad thing or a good thing, but I think we're more accepting of it and going, it's, and I don't know. I don't see an issue with an age gap between two consenting adults.
No, totally.
The Leo thing, bit weird. Like,
yeah, he's a pump and dump though, isn't he? Like, he's not really looking for a meaningful connection.
But like, Aaron Taylor Johnson's with a woman who's like 30 years older than him.
Everyone else has an issue with it except them. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things where it's like, stay out of people's shit unless there's a problem. Like, if they are consenting adults.
If they're consenting.
Maybe easy, like, hey, maybe easy to say as men, but like.
Yeah. But like,
knows?
I do think maybe we are a bit more comfortable with it because of that element
of it, sure.
But I think that's the thing is like, no one really takes an issue with her being much younger.
No, it's not.
Than Orlando.
It's not about
It's just because she's transgender. Whereas I think had their father, ex-husband, brother been with a much younger cisgender woman,
yes,
they'd have probably been like, yeah, fucking come to the funeral, part of the family, whatever.
Brother's probably gonna start like hitting on her or something. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, I'm next.
She's just seen as this freak, this sideshow. And like it is is hard to watch. Like we've talked about some films that deal with some pretty heavy subject matter.
Yes,
but this is probably one of those ones where I was just like, good God, I'm enjoying this. I'm not enjoying this. It's a good film. I'm appreciating this. Yeah. But Christ, I just want it to be over because it is miserable for 90 of the 100 minutes.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
It's like you get the nice bit at the start when they're like still together and he's alive. Yeah. You get a bit of catharsis at the ending. Yeah. And then it's just like sort of, a lot of pain, kind of.
Oh, fucking,
like very two thin slices of happiness with a big shit sandwich in the middle. Like it's.
Thinking about it, Oscars wise, obviously we read out what it went up against. In 2018.
Was she nominated for Best Actress? I'm assuming not. Otherwise, we probably would have heard more about it.
Yeah, actress, no. So that year was Frances McDormand won for 3 Billboards. Sally Hawkins, Shape of Water, Margot Robbie, I, Tonya, Saoirse Ronan, Lady Bird, and Meryl Streep, The Post.
That's a pretty good year.
It's a stacked lineup.
Yeah,
which is kind of what I'm gonna go on the other end of the spectrum of for this. That. To me, I haven't seen The Insult, haven't seen Loveless, but they're not really in the zeitgeist. This does not seem like a very strong foreign language film lineup.
The Insult is incredible.
Okay.
I will say that.
All right.
I haven't seen Loveless.
On Body and Soul, we all enjoyed.
Yeah.
We all liked. And The Square, I really liked, but again, probably not a lot.
Yeah.
Like Triangle of Sadness is Ruben Östlund's best movie.
Yeah.
So seeing The Square not win, I don't know. It just.
I think out of I've seen
this is probably
the
best.
Insult. That it's definitely those two would be the front runners. I would say.
I think
but
this
obviously
is the
this is
one we've watched.
I would agree. It feels tough to say that.
But we've watched some
great fucking movies in this. In
terms of the Oscar winners that we've had, sort of going back from. What's the most recent one? I'm Still Here.
I'm Still Here. I'm Still Here. We've done Zone of Interest. We've done Roma.
Parasite.
Around. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like these are 5 out of 5 bangers.
Yeah.
This does feel like the weakest of the bunch. And I think there is an element of maybe this is cynical from. I'll speak for myself. Maybe this is cynical from myself. That misery porn aspect of it kind of takes away some of the sincerity of the film. I think a lot of the sincerity lies within Marina and Daniela Vega's performance. But the film itself, I could watch this and be like, cool. All right. That was a great movie. I understand what it was doing. I probably will never watch this again.
No.
And I don't think it's going to have a lasting impact on me like something like a Parasite or even a Zone of Interest. And Zone of Interest, it took me 2 times to come around and really get it, right? Yeah. So, I don't see this in the same echelon as those films.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think, it's a really important film. I think, there are films that come out at a certain time and deal with a certain topic that are important.
Yeah, totally.
And I know that this did have a pretty profound impact on sort of like transgender perspectives and law in Chile. When it came out, like they sort of used, this got international critical acclaim, and then
Chile was like, oh shit, we got to not be like such fuckheads to trans people.
Much. And like they activists in Chile sort of use this as a push to get bills put through to
that's incredible.
To change their details and things like that.
That is cool.
Which I think is a great testament to the power of art, right?
Yeah.
And that people go, oh, it's just movies, it can't make any difference. But it's like,
it makes a difference.
Art makes a difference. It has throughout all of history. It keeps people accountable. It holds a mirror up to ourselves and things like that.
Absolutely.
So I think it's an important film, but as you said, it's probably not a film I'm going to revisit, at least not in any sort of.
And I think there's aspects of that are technical as well. I think the stuff in the nightclubs are incredible. Like the lighting is fucking incredible,
and the use of color and
the beautiful. Which is another very like when we think about like Pedro Almodovar and like a lot of Spanish and Mexican filmmakers, they use color so evocatively. It's quite nice. Yeah. But outside of those things, there was like not many technical aspects of the film that I was like, not that you have to be wowed to be an Oscar winner, but you do think about things like the way Parasite was shot, the way Zone of Interest was edited, the sound design of that film, the way Roma was shot. Like there are technical aspects that do elevate these movies to the point where we go, this is worthy of winning the best film in its category.
Yeah.
A Fantastic Woman didn't have all of that for me, I guess, in that regard.
It's a very, there are some really nice looking scenes, but for the most part, I think it's a very sort of straight up and down.
Totally.
Kind of film.
I guess you could argue that for I'm Still Here, though, as well. Hey, like,
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
so.
I don't think I'm Still Here is quite as sort of
I don't know if that's going to have this staying. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Yeah.
Like, I think it's very warm.
Yes.
You know, it's very, and I think I'm Still Here kind of has like this host of really great performances.
Yeah.
And the family dynamic and things like that. I think, not to say the other performances.
And it does a great job of starting as sort of one movie and then turning into another one. It does.
But I think this is kind of, it's a character piece, right? It really hinges on one person, whereas I'm Still Here, as much as it's about Fernando Torres' character, I think the strength of it lies in that family story.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And then
again, like, I mean, maybe I'm just a sucker for like historical dramas.
Sure.
But I think that, again, that kind of like looking back at real events and portraying them through this way, I think that gives it a bit more staying power.
I think having watched this after watching something like The Wonder as well, we joked it's a boring film, and it kind of is, but it's visually stunning.
Oh yeah, The Wonder is a
The Wonder starts out on a film set and goes into the film. Like, it's a movie about stories and storytelling, basically, and stuff. But just some of the shots in that film are truly astounding. You know what I mean? So we know Sebastian Lelio is a very great visual director as well. So I think it's just interesting. But maybe that's just what this needed to be. This almost needed to evoke this sort of like plain reality.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because otherwise you end up with Amelia Perez.
I was going to
Still haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I still only know one
I've
thing.
seen Amelia Perez.
You have?
Yeah, yeah.
I only know one thing.
Did you see it at the... Did you see it at the cinema or no?
No. So
okay.
I watch it at home because I try and watch everything that's sort of nominated
that's right.
for Oscars.
Yeah.
As long as it's not like, best live action animated short documentary.
Yeah.
They
can be really good.
So like I try and watch all the major players.
Yeah,
Amelia Perez was nominated for a stupid number of awards, so I watched it. And I mean, it's not as god-awful and watchable as people say. It's a bad, tasteless film.
Penis to vagina, or vagina to penis.
Like,
it's the only thing I know from that film.
A Fantastic Woman is the film Amelia Perez Witches.
Yeah. I whilst watching it, I was thinking that.
Yeah,
that's great.
It's like, here's how you do something like that's actually
I think we're gonna have to
hate
watch Amelia Perez like a live. We're gonna have to do a live commentary, fucking
sing-along version. Like
that would be very funny.
Here at the bottom.
That would be very good. If you want that, leave it in the comments below. 6 people ask for it, we'll do it.
Yeah. 3 of them will be us.
Yeah. I've created 6 accounts. I don't have much more to say about it. I think, comparatively, it's probably lowest, maybe at the bottom of the Oscar winners we won, but I don't think that's taking away any of the fact that it's still an impactful
purely because
of its story.
Yeah, and the films that we've kind of watched, this Oscar series, are unbelievable.
I also think that, like, when you see everything
All
since
Quiet on the
then,
Western Front.
Roma, Parasite,
I was just
another
thinking
round,
about that movie
Quiet
the
on the
other
Western
day,
Front, Zone of Interest. Like, it's just.
I think those are all at least a
4.5.
4.5.
Yeah.
9 out of 10, whichever way you want to do it.
9 to 10 out of 10.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those are some of the best films I saw of those years.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't think A Fantastic Woman's probably going to be in my top 5 or even top 10 for
probably
2017.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Should we get into star ratings while we're on that topic?
So let's do it. Do you want me to start? I'm going 3.5. I don't think it is a really good film. And remember, that people have come at me recently on other things for saying like a 3 out of 5 is a bad review. Still a positive review. 3.5 is half a star more. It's still a good movie. Okay, 7 out of 10 if it makes you sleep at night. But I think for all the reasons we were saying, I think the story is timely and it is impactful, despite it being a tough watch. Daniela Vega is fantastic, the heart and soul of the film. Just doesn't have that same like oomph as some of the other Academy Award winners we've watched.
Josh, do you remember what it was originally and what it was this
time? Yeah, I do. Yeah. I mean, I agree with you about since then, the Oscar winners that we've watched. But I give this a 4.
Yeah.
I gave it a 4 the first time I watched it. I think I would have watched it probably 2018, 2019. So a good 6.
So pretty close to when it came out.
Yeah. I feel so much has happened since 2018. And so much media and noise involving this sort of topic has also, like, it's just been everywhere now. So to kind of go back and revisit something that was like we sort of said before, this would have been, it's quite a big movement at the time for the Academy to give this the best foreign film was probably quite a big statement.
Big deal, yeah.
In 2018.
The year after they gave Moonlight Best Picture as well.
Yeah.
So the Academy.
La La Land?
Yeah.
The deserving winner.
I mean, saying this is a depressing film, if you look at the next few Oscar
I know. I
winners
just looked ahead at what the next one is. Where I think we joked about this on the last time. We were just we are all gonna we're starting a Patreon for therapy films.
Yeah, that's right.
With this string of Oscar winners.
But even though it's not flashy or
it's impactful still.
I think so. For me, it was still I think she was incredible in it.
Yeah, she is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I take nothing away from her.
Yeah,
totally.
Yeah.
And for you, Kieran?
I'm going to go with a 3.5 as well.
Yep.
I sort of ummed and ahed between a 4 and a 3.5, but I think if you're having to sort of question it, you probably go round down rather than round up.
Sure.
For all the same sort of reasons we've talked about, I think it's a really powerful and important film. I think her performance is just heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But really touching. I think, my issues with it, as I sort of talked about at the start, is just that I think her as a character may be lacking in a bit of agency.
Yeah.
And I would have just liked to have seen her maybe take a bit more control of the situation. But very easy to say from, my position.
Yeah.
But I think it's very respectful. I think it's it handles things really delicately. And I think a lot of that obviously comes from having Daniela Vega in that leading role, because I don't know why I do. I read the Letterboxd reviews. It's a form of masochism at this point.
Some of them are pretty funny though. Not necessarily for this movie. Sorry, I should say just in general.
But like the first review, like the top review when you look at this film is a 5-star review of someone going on a massive tirade about how
they voted for Trump.
Well, you would think so, right? You would think so. But like it's just harping on about how a cis-het straight white man, whatever, shouldn't be able to direct a film about a trans person.
Right.
And I really hate that.
Yeah.
Because if you follow that logic down, you go, okay, so, let's say for the sake of the argument, you're right. And that only trans people should be able to tell trans stories. Fair enough. Only white people could tell white people stories. Only men
when
can
you
tell men
start,
stories. Catherine Bigelow, I'm sorry, Zero Dark 30, great film. Hurt Locker, great film. Fuck off, you're a woman. You can't tell.
You can't make a movie about Osama bin Laden.
Yeah.
Okay.
Barry Jenkins, Spike Lee, you're great directors. You can only make films about black people.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah.
I understand, the Eddie Redmayne thing, right?
Yeah.
Like,
sure.
We should probably cast trans people as trans people.
Yeah.
And if you can, as long as they're still the right person for the role, cast, LGBT actors, in LGBT roles.
It's much like the damned if they do, damned if they don't sort of thing, because then you think about the fact that, and unfortunately, in a lot of ways, Hollywood is a business.
Yeah.
And if you don't cast Eddie Redmayne in The Danish Girl, does anyone fucking go see The Danish Girl? And we never find out the story about The Danish Girl.
Especially on the back of, because that was maybe the year after he won
Theory of Everything as well, right?
So big name actor. And he's great in it.
Yeah.
He's still a good actor in it.
Yeah.
You look at Jared Leto.
Eddie Redmayne is looking for controversy. Holy fuck. He plays Stephen Hawking and then a trans woman back to back. Dude's looking to not work in Hollywood ever again.
And then he's in Fantastic Beasts. It's really...
Rest in peace, Eddie Redmayne's career. No, but you
look at Jared Leto in Dallas Buyers Club.
And there's so
he's amazing
much.
in that. You look at, Brokeback Mountain, the classic example, right?
Yeah,
Jake Gyllenhaal.
And I'm never going to disagree with someone who makes that counter argument of, yes, it should be black directors for black stories, trans people for trans stories and stuff. But at the same time, it's like, can there be
can coexist.
Coexisting of both. Yeah. And
it doesn't take away from the film that it was directed by a straight white man.
Does The Danish Girl become a better film if it has a trans actor or a trans director? Maybe, maybe not. We don't know.
Yeah.
But the fact that people are still talking about it is because... Was it Tom Hooper who directed that as well? It wasn't Tom Hooper, was it?
Don't think so.
It was some famous English guy though. In the sense that, and there's nuance, and it is a grey area. It was Tom Hooper?
Yeah.
Fuck, that and Cats. A cat should have directed Cats.
But there's circumstances
It's
as well.
circumstance
and also,
nuance
like you say,
and-
like, would anyone have seen it? Like,
Exactly, yeah.
They've got to make a decision on how we market this, and
But now we know the story.
yeah.
And we are better for seeing that interpretation of that. in fairness, I don't remember a lot about the Danish girl, but in the vein of this argument, in the sense of like, yes, we know about it now because of this, and that is okay.
Did you see Benny Safdie recently
talking about playing? Yeah, he's playing.
Time?
Obviously has some of the mental impairment.
Yeah,
or mental.
Yeah.
How you say it now? Yeah, mentally.
I thought that was. Really
I thought it was a very interesting way to
take it really well.
Yeah, I think so too. And Good Times is just a great fucking movie.
Great movie, yeah. And I just thought
actors act.
Yeah,
that's what it comes down.
You
to.
know the difference between acting and a piss take.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if you don't grow up, like in all honesty,
it's like Robert Downey Jr. doing blackface in Tropic Thunder,
and it made sense for the film because the movie is being like, this is not good.
Yeah.
Like the movie is literally making fun of the fact that he's doing this. But it's all right. People are fucking dumb, so that's all right.
Yeah. But like no one, like Daniel Day-Lewis in My Left Foot.
Literally plays
someone
with a disability.
Or maybe they are, but fucking like it's
they probably are now.
Yeah.
They probably are now.
Yeah. I think, just like as long as it's being told in a way that's respectful and in a way that takes into consideration that group's feelings.
Totally.
Then I think that's all that really matters. And I think you can't accuse Sebastian Lelio of not caring.
Yeah, no, not
I'm
at
sure
all.
Daniela Vega would have said something when she was a consultant on the film before even starring in it. She's like,
so take that fucking letterbox user.
I've got your IP address and your fucking stuff here. We're going to get you. Well, that was a fantastic woman.
That was a fantastic woman.
And a fantastic episode. But that is another Oscar episode down to tease and look ahead for the 2017 Oscars. The 2016 films that were nominated. We had Tony Erdmann from Germany, which I think was featured in the New York Times Top 100 Films, if I recall correctly.
Yeah. I wasn't a huge fan.
Tanner, which is an Australian film.
Oh, yeah.
A Man Called Ove from Sweden.
I love that
which
movie.
I will defend A Man from Otto as well, I like that. Land of Mine from Denmark. But the winner, and the film we'll be talking about on the next Oscars episode, is Asghar Farhadi's The Salesman from Iran, which I have seen.
Which will be our second trip.
I believe so, after
Close Up.
The Kurosama film. Kurosami film, I believe.
Abbas Kiarostami. Yeah.
I have seen this.
I'm pretty sure I have actually.
Yeah. I saw it when it came out.
I don't think I've seen it. No, I've not. I've not seen any
Asghar Farhadi
films.
Oh, I've seen a couple. He's we're in for a time. We're in for an intense time.
I think I have seen it.
We know what Iran have thought of some of their directors in the past. So this is going to be a very interesting episode. But that is on the next Oscars episode. But we do have another stream of episodes coming up for then. And Josh, your pick is the next episode of That 1 Inch Barrier.
Yeah.
Would you like to tell us what we are?
We're going to Sweden for a very unique.
Sweden again. Your last pick was Sweden.
Yeah, I know.
He's
in.
I
didn't mean it, but I did want to get this director into the mix. Roy Andersson, who does some very sort of somber, deadpan,
abstract.
About, from what I can tell in most of his movies, about his like home country and hometown, and So I think we'll be in for an interesting conversation.
And that movie is
You the Living.
You the Living.
Which is the one that I saw of his first, and that's why I picked that one. Yeah. But he also did A Pigeon Sat on a Branch and Songs from the Second Floor.
We haven't telegraphed this at all. Sometimes we record some of these episodes back to back. We've already watched this film and we'll be talking about it next. And I think the minor reactions means you're in for a great conversation.
Like that feels like we're letting the cat out of the bag for the listeners, because, they don't realize. The viewers probably notice that there's like every 2 episodes we're wearing the same clothes.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So we're like, ooh, what are we watching next time? And we're like,
if you're in the car, they're like, wow.
And I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait to watch that.
The listeners have been betrayed. They're in the cars right now like, these fuckers. I thought they just watched one every month.
Nick is a very hard man to pin down. So when we get him, we have to smash out many episodes.
Physically and time-wise.
Yeah.
Very hard to pin down.
Yeah, we tried wrestling him once. It ended badly.
I'm a peacock. You let me fly. That is the next episode, You the Living, from Roy Andersson. We're going to Sweden. But till then, what do we do? You can subscribe to us on YouTube. You can like the video Let us know in the comments if you want us to do the hate watch along for Amelia Perez on your preferred podcasting platform. Make sure you follow us there, download the episodes. It helps. That 1 Inch Barrier on Instagram. All of our personal Instagrams and Letterboxd are in the description. You can find us all there. But until then, thank you for listening. We'll see you on the next episode of That 1 Inch Barrier.
Thank you.
Catch up.